Okay, morning, folks. Welcome to the briefing on Friday, the 11th of December. Obviously, if you're looking out the window, it looks a bit grey and miserable out there. And that's pretty much universal at the moment over the whole of southern part of England. So this is the chart for midday, and you can see, if I just run back, you can see this weak weather fronts. They're not particularly active in terms of rain, but they have got a lot of cloud on them. Just slowly drifting through, not making rapid progress. You can see the isobars are fairly well spaced between them. They're not being driven along by a jet stream at all. So it's lingering, really. And they're sort of lingering over us. Some contrast in different weather forecasts, which we'll show you in a minute. And you can take your choice between the two, really. Tomorrow looks like a possibility, and it will depend entirely on the movement of this weather front here and how quickly it goes through in the morning. So back to today, and the tasks for Farnborough, for example, are saying 256 knots. Yeah, it's probably about that. 6,000 meters broken at 2,100 feet. Well, it certainly isn't that here. I can't barely see 2E's complex. And so the viz is not that, and the cloud base is more like about 200 feet. So becoming between 9 and 11, all the nines, 10K viz, no significant weather, and tempo between 9 and 12, broken at 800 feet. Well, I'd say they've probably got broken at 800 feet at the moment, and we've got sort of fairly overcast at 200 to 300 feet. And they're then saying between 12 and 1800, broken at 1200 feet. So that's quite an optimistic forecast compared to what I'm looking at out the window. You go to Gatwick, and it's a little bit more pessimistic. It sort of says broken at 600 feet, and then 3,000 meters rain and drizzle, 200 feet. So slightly more downbeat, as is top meteo, you'll see in a minute. Winds, upper winds are westerly pretty much. As look, the spacing on the isobars was quite wide, so it's not strong on the ground, but at flying heights, 15 knots, I guess, from 280 degrees for most of the day. SatPic shows slightly sort of lighter area here. This is a few showers lingering in here, but there are showers and bits and pieces here, and you'll see that on the rainfall radar now, that out to the west of us, there's chunks of rain and showers here. So I think if we're going to get anything, there's a possibility this afternoon, it would be in this clearance behind this. And I'm assuming this is probably the front that they're actually showing on the chart at midday. So top meteo is playing a rather downbeat forecast. This colour here, the solid sort of orangey yellow colour, is less than 500 foot cloud base fog, and the lighter yellow is under 1,000 feet. And if you play that through, that's 12 o'clock. They're saying it's still murky and horrible over us, and it remains that way for the rest of the day. So you say you got two different forecasts, and you can take a choice, folks. I think it's sort of halfway between the two. We might see some sort of brighter bits, but possibly not good enough to fly, and then cloudy later and overcast with the fog coming back. Play it forward 24 hours for Saturday. 12 hours ago, it was showing this solid stuff over us till about midday. Now it's saying it's clearing early to mid-morning. So reasonably nice day for most of Saturday. Sunday, think you can stay in bed, folks. It's sort of warm sector fronts rolling through and rain involved in that. So Sunday looks pretty much like a write-off. Okay, in terms of airspace, if we do go flying today, not a lot locally to Lasham, as we're down here. Just left these two on the chart for information and amusement. They're doing nighttime parachuting out of Weston on the Green. Having seen that, they do jump out, very late at night, and the parachutists have little sort of strobes on their arms, on their hands and feet. That starts at sort of 4 o'clock this afternoon, and there's a fly past at Holton. I have no idea what goes past there, but that's fairly regular in the summer, obviously to do with cadet passing out parades. And that's about it really in terms of airspace. Jet movements, well, looking at my emails, there's supposedly a Airbus 319 going out at about midday on an air test for 2 hours. I suspect that was the one that was cancelled from yesterday because of the weather, and I have a funny feeling it might be the same today, because obviously they can get out quite easily, but getting back in with no form of instrument approach into Lasham in this sort of conditions is sort of tricky, so they won't actually fly unless they can guarantee to get back in. Okay, so chance today, but a very, very small one, I suspect, folks. And hopefully, if you're planning to fly this weekend, it's probably going to be tomorrow.